Good evening, Chair, fellow members, and most welcome guests. I think they're, are they? No, you're a member now, aren't you? A long time ago, I knew someone called Jenny who insisted on collecting ponies, sort of waifs and strays. And they were always a bit wild, and she always got me to come and help her handle them because she couldn't. So I'm going to tell you a couple of stories about these wayward ponies. The first one is about a pony called Tammy. Well, Tammy was a little squit. She was cream or cremello. And the first time I met Tammy, she was in a stable in Jenny's back garden. Well, Jenny lived in social housing at the end of Penhill Drive, so you can appreciate that her garden wasn't that big. So there's this pony in this stable, climbing the walls to get away from me. And so I sat in the stable for a few days or a while, talking to her, trying to get her to trust me. And eventually I was able to put a halter on this pony, or a head collar. At which Jenny then announced, "Oh, it's so sad that this pony is shut in this stable. Can we take her out for a walk?" And against my better judgment, we decided to take this pony out for a walk. So, out the front of Jenny's house, there was a big grass area at the top end of Penhill Drive. And so we got out onto this bit of grass, and there was double-decker buses going down Penhill Drive, and there was workmen doing whatever they do on the road across there. And the pony leapt up and down a little bit, and I was able to wheel her back in. And eventually she was there chomping a bit of grass. So I said to Jenny, "I think we need to take her back now." At which Jenny went, "Oh, can I hold her?" And I went, "Oh," against my better judgment, but it is her pony. Okay, don't let go of her. And as I turned round to light a cigarette, I used to smoke then, I turned back to see Tammy disappearing down the side road, heading toward Whitworth Road. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, children kicking out of school, so you can imagine, if you know that area is really busy. She disappeared to the left, down Whitworth Road, round to the Moonrakers, where there used to be double roundabouts, and left into Crickclade Road, and I'm running after her, and somebody stopped and said, "Do you want a lift?" And I gratefully received it, and I could have probably run quicker because of the amount of traffic. However, she ran down into Penhill Drive, back out onto this bit of grass, and I jumped out of the car and I thought, right, we've got her. No. Straight back up Penhill Drive, across Crickclade Road, across into a road, across the road from Crickclade. And then as I'm charging after her, at this stage I've got 3 boys in pursuit with me, thinking, what a lark. And we watched the pony disappear into somebody's garden and round into their back garden. So I hollered at these lads, "You shut the gate, you knock on the door," and I'm going round to catch the pony. So there she was, looking at me, evacuating her bowels. So I was able to pick up the lead rein and lead her back. There was nobody in. And to this day, I don't know what the owners of the house wondered about this horse dropping in their back garden. However,
that's a big bird.
However, I was able to get her back across Crickclade Road because Jenny jumped out in front of the traffic to get me back across, and I put her back in her stable. So that was Tammy. The next one I'm going to tell you about is one called Lottie. Well, this is a horse. And she was called Lottie because there's a lot of her. And my horse, called Charity, who was a thoroughbred, and Lottie, they both had the same father. They were living for a couple of weeks in a field down the bottom of Blunsdon, down the back roads of Blunsdon. And we had to move them back to Groundwell Farm, which is in North Swindon there. And so we decided to lead them. So we came up Sam's Lane and into Highworth Road, heading toward the Cold Harbour. And as Jenny said to me, can we swap horses? Can I lead your horse across the main road? And again, my heart sank. And I thought, well, I knew my horse would be as good as gold crossing this road. And I also knew that if Lottie messed around, she's better off in my hands than Jenny's. So I reluctantly agreed, and we went off round the Cold Harbour and across the grass there, and back then there was a roundabout at the end of Cricklade Road, and there was a petrol station and a Happy Eater. So we got to cross the bit of grass to the edge of the dual carriageway, and we agreed, right, what we'll do is we'll check there's no traffic to the right, we'll go 1, 2, 3, go. So this is what we did, and we'll stop at the middle type of thing. So we went, okay, clear to the right, 1, 2, 3, go! Charity just walked nice as ninepence across the road as Lottie stuck her toes in and went, I'm not climbing off, I'm not jumping off this curb. So, oh bother, and there's Charity on the other side, and Jenny then proceeded to continue across the road with my horse over there, and this one's not going with me. So, we had a young lass with us called Karen. She had a whip in her hand, and I said, right Karen, this is what we're going to do. When I see it's clear, I'm going to shout, go, you're going to wallop her one, and we're going to get across the road. So it was 1, 2, 3, go, wallop, off the road, into the middle of the road, you know, across the grass bit in the middle, halfway there. Whew, that worked. Okay, right Karen, same again. So when I say go, wallop her one, and we'll get across this bit of road. So, 1, 2, 3, oh, I was going to say, the roundabout was to my left, and the traffic's coming round the roundabout, so we were quite close to the roundabout. So, 1, 2, 3, go, wallop! She jumps off the curb, across the road, and then stops dead, and refuses to get up the curb onto the path. And so there's this horse across this side of the road, and you've got traffic coming round the roundabout, and as you know, as you come off a roundabout, you put your foot down, and then suddenly there's bloody horse in the way. Oops. So I'm there going, hit her, Karen, hit her! And Karen's going, I can't hit her, everyone's watching me! and we're sort of, this traffic's piling up and so on. So, thankfully, at that moment, a man walks along and says, can I help? And I hands in the lead rein, took the whip from Karen, and I went, ready, wallop, and she leapt onto the path, and there we were. And the traffic then proceeded to slow down the road. So we then took the horses back to Groundwell Farm, and thankfully that was where we were. This was not the only time that I was blamed for Janny's misbehaving ponies or horses, but I'll save the other stories for another day.